We have an incredible show for you today. Let's see if we can find the bottom line, which is who loves being in the war versus who loves America.
Iran, dare I say, is in its bad girl era?
Bad girl era. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if you think about Iran, it's kind of in its bad girl era. Like,
I love it.
You took on the big dog and you won and you kind of got what you wanted.
Like a brat.
You're in your bad girl era. So we're the mommy.
I can play mommy.
Mommy. And Iran's our daughter, and Iran's
misbehaving.
A bad girl.
Bad, naughty.
We go into her room and we go, you better get your life together, young lady.
Young lady, tidy up your room.
Our daughter goes, yeah, fuck you, Ma.
Uh-oh.
Fuck
as
you.
As she would, as a bad teen.
And we go, don't talk to me like that. I'm your mother.
Yeah.
And I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it.
Uh-oh.
And then
that sounds like somebody we know.
Goes, yeah, try. And
Just
then the mother goes to grab her and puts her in a headlock, but the daughter sneaks out of it.
Of course.
And gets in the mom's car.
Uh-oh.
And the mom goes, I need that car. I got to go to work. You're fucking my money up. And the daughter goes, well, then raise my curfew. And the mom goes, motherfucker, you're a cunt. And the daughter goes, you're going to raise my curfew. I got out of that headlock, you dumb bitch. I'm going out Saturday night till 12 because everybody else is. Remove sanctions against me, you fat bitch. You fat boomer bitch.
It's not going well.
Sanctions against me or I'll steal your fucking car. You won't get to work and you'll lose your fucking money. And that's all you care about at the end of the day. You fat beanie baby collecting boomer bitch.
Ow.
Fuck, fine. So then you sit your fat ass down and you write a 14-point deal with your cunt daughter.
Oh, gosh.
And you go, we will raise your curfew to 12. You will submit to random drug testing at a scheduled time. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
You will not let your boyfriend in the house when we are not home, but you will rejoin the international community. We will take you on our family vacation. We will. So Iran's in her straight up bad girl era. Iran is at the high school with the cig in the mouth.
Tim Dillon always makes me laugh, but he's very foul-mouthed. He says a lot of words that I would not say and don't approve. But hey, that's Tim Dillon, and if you don't like him, you don't like him, but I love him. I think he's one of the most outstanding comics today. And in fact, I saw him recently at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. He was one of the headliners. Everybody was enraptured with his sense of humor. But I love this metaphor, this kind of dark comedic metaphor. And it is kind of like that, like Trump and the United States of America is trying to act like the good parent and get the 14-point deal, but the teenagers basically got her bit in her mouth like a horse, and she's running away, and we don't have the control that we want. And my gosh, I so wish we did not even get into this war. What about you? Like, do you think this was a good idea? Who thinks this is a good idea? Nobody thinks this was a good idea, but now let's get out of it. All right, let's go to Piers Morgan and Tucker Carlson and see who got accused of being a Nazi.
But we thought it'd be interesting to talk to one of these apostates. It's Piers Morgan, who's been in the television business, newspaper business, media for 40 years. And for almost all of that time, in fact, probably even now, is like a pretty reliable supporter of Israel. He's not against Israel.
He's moderate.
I've always had the same view.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I don't think we should be paying for this, but of course they have a right to defend themselves. The right to self-defense is an inherent human right. It cannot be taken away.
Yeah.
And it applies to states as much as it does individuals. So of course they have a right to defend themselves.
Of course.
No one wants to destroy Israel. He doesn't. I don't.
No, I don't.
But like, this is too much. Like genocide?
Yeah,
I don't
genocide.
think so. I'm out. That's all he said.
Way too far.
And now they are painting Piers Morgan, specifically Mark Levin of Fox News, is calling the guy a Nazi.
A Nazi. Oh my God.
So we thought it'd be amusing.
Ridiculous.
To talk to Piers Morgan about what's that like? What's it like to spend your entire life supporting Israel in the way that kind of all center-left, center-right, sort of professional class people have always supported Israel.
Yeah.
Maybe not passionately, but just sort of by rote.
Kind of
Of course I support
default.
Israel.
Of course. Yeah.
Tiny heroic little country surrounded by enemies.
Now.
Love the kibbutzes or whatever.
I don't know about kibbutzes.
What's it like for that guy to be called a Nazi by a Fox News anchor. So we asked him.
Ridiculous name calling.
Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, thank you for doing this. I've known you for so long, and I always have thought of you correctly, I think, as a very reasonable man, as pro-Israel. In fact, as basically a Zionist, a defender of Israel. And then I wake up and I read from Mark Levin that you're literally a Nazi. You're a member of something called the woke
Nazi.
Reich. And I wonder where you went wrong. What happened? Are you taking money?
It was also news to me, Tucker, I have to say.
News to everybody.
Not often you wake up and discover you were actually a member of Adolf Hitler's Nazi party, but that appears to be what Mark Levin thinks I am. Yeah, I mean, the guy, I don't really know Mark Levin. You know him better than I do. I've watched his work. He seems to resort to ad hominem attacks on anyone that dares stand up to this particular Israeli government, which I think is an interesting strategy because most people I talk to of any political persuasion right now are pretty critical of this Israeli government.
Yeah.
And in the same way that Ben Shapiro and others have, I think, really caused themselves enormous reputational damage over this Iran war in particular, it comes down to their refusal to countenance any criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu, even when he's doing things which most people think are completely wrong.
Like
genocide. I don't understand why they think that's a winning strategy. It seems from the dwindling viewers that both of them have, that viewers don't like it. I'm not quite sure who they're doing this for other than their own egos, but it's embarrassing, it's ridiculous, and obviously I'm not a member of the Nazi party and never have been. And I don't equate criticizing this very hardline Israeli government with, in my view, complete psychopaths like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, saying and doing things which are utterly repellent. I just think the idea that criticism of that kind of thing, meaning that you become a member of the woke Reich, is patently ridiculous.
Well, it's also weird considering that the people being targeted, and honestly, I would include myself in this, are the more moderate people.
Yeah,
certainly,
you're all getting
you
targeted.
have been, I just want to say it again, a consistent and pretty loyal defender of Israel ever since I noticed your public career. Megyn Kelly, same thing. Why attack those people? Why not make some effort to say to people like you or Megyn Kelly, look, I know you like Israel, you always have. There's some lunatics in the current government. We can reform this. Why the zero tolerance policy for any criticism? It seems counterproductive.
Well, it's not just counterproductive, it's actually deeply offensive because, as you rightly say, I have always supported Israel's right to exist as a basic right. I've always supported their right after October the 7th to defend themselves. I thought they had a moral public duty to their people to defend themselves after that appalling terrorist attack. But I also questioned quite early on whether their response was proportionate. And I continue to question the proportionality of Israel's response to all the threats that they face. And I don't say for a moment that Israel has not been threatened and doesn't remain threatened by a variety of terrorist groups, from Hezbollah to the Houthis to Hamas, and the tentacles of Iran spread long to all those groups. I don't for any moment want to suggest that isn't happening or it's not a real thing. But how a country like Israel, which is pretty much the superpower of the region, which has an extraordinarily powerful military, it's got itself into a really difficult place on this, where it is becoming increasingly a global pariah. And that's not your fault or my fault or Megyn Kelly's fault. But increasingly, I think it is a situation exacerbated by the likes of Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, because they conflate legitimate criticism of the actions of a government with, in many cases, they spray gun people with the charge of anti-Semitism, or as we see now, well, you must be part of the woke right, which of course would be ridiculously ironic if that was the case.
So this is kind of crazy. If anybody is called a Nazi, you probably know that something is fishy, and probably they're not a Nazi, but maybe they're speaking out. Speaking out against the powers that be. That could get you called names like racist or Nazi. Let's hear from Cenk now, from the Young Turks. He was on Piers Morgan recently, and he had a very strong and opinionated point of view about what we should do in Iran. Let's watch this together. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Cenk Uygur
I'm going to start with the extraordinary words I never thought I'd use, which is probably the biggest cheerleader for Trump's deal is Cenk Uygur.
That's surprising.
Yeah. So listen, I didn't want to go on the war in the first place. I thought it was a bad idea. You all know that, right? But our job right now is not to say, oh, Obama's deal was better. We could have that discussion. But the most important thing is let's get out of the war.
Exactly.
Let's go towards peace. So
Absolutely.
if Trump is going towards peace and towards American sovereignty, I'm 100% in favor of it. And so what do we want this, theoretically, this war for? To end any chance they have a nuclear weapon? Well, this deal ends that. And then after the war started, we need to open up the Strait of Hormuz. It opens up the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
So American interests are completely covered. We're done. The only reason why we'd want to stay in Miriam's war is to appease the Israelis. And I think that every single person on air right now saying we have to stay longer is saying we have to stay longer for Israel so that Israel could fight Hezbollah and Hamas better, so they could take southern Lebanon, so they could drag us into endless wars, so they could destroy their regional opponents, so they could have no one to defend Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, and every other place that Israel wants to expand to. Why? Why do we care what Israel wants at all? It's none of our business. Our business is covered. Trump made a deal. It's perfectly fine. Let's get the hell out of there. We have no business in there in the first place. Zero American interests. So as you see people betraying us and telling us that we have to stay in a war for Israel, make note of it. And let's also make note of one more thing, Piers. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tom Massey were excommunicated. How dare they criticize Trump and want the Epstein files released? Now I see all sorts of Republicans, politicians, pundits, all daring to disagree with Donald Trump, saying he's wrong, attacking Donald Trump. Where are the consequences? Are they going to be excommunicated? Or, as usual, does Israel First get a special rule? They're allowed to bash Trump. They're allowed to criticize Trump. They're allowed to be for war. They always get special different rules. So no, they won't get excommunicated. And we're about to find out who runs the Republican Party and who runs this country. So if Trump says Israel doesn't run it anymore and we're going to leave and go to peace, God bless. I'm totally in favor of that.
God bless. So Tim Dillon made the situation in Iran sound like a dark comedy between a bad girl and her mother. That teenage daughter is just being so difficult to control. But here's what I think, and I'd love to hear what you think. I think we should get out of the sand wars. Let's not risk American lives. Let's get out of there. We might be like that mother fighting with a teenage daughter, but we have to do what's right and negotiate as best we can and then get the heck out of there. Get away from the sand wars. That's my opinion anyway. I think that's a basic thing that strategically we should all agree on, that peace is better than war. I'm Aurora Winter, author of Turn Words into Wealth and 9 other books, and this is Strategic Basics. Please comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think that we should get out? Do you think we will be able to get out? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.